Hey everybody, this is Vinyl Keith coming at you with another video. Today I'm finally going to get back to my Rolling Stones series I started months ago. I did a video on the first two albums they released here in the US and the UK. So I'm going to continue that tonight. This video is going to cover, believe it or not, 3 albums they released in 1965. So that's what I'm covering this whole year for the Stones. It was a big year for them. Starting off with Rolling Stones Now. Okay, this was released here in the U.S. only. Okay, this was not released in the U.K. at all. It was released on the 13th of February, 1965. It hit number 5 on the Billboard charts here in the U.S. and it went gold. And the single off of it was Heart of Stone. Went number 19 on the Billboard Top 100. And here's the track list if you want to see it. You can pause it and look at it if you want to. This is a really good album. Out of their first 3, this is probably my favorite. The first 3 they released in the U.S., I mean. This is probably my favorite of those first 3. Yeah, I really like this album. I love Everybody Needs Someone to Love, or Somebody to Love. Love that track. You Can't Catch Me. That's a Chuck Berry cover. They do a great job on that. Of course, Heart of Stone, that's a good track. What a Shame. That's one of my favorites. Of course, they do Little Red Rooster on here. And that charted really high, too. Off the Hook, Down the Road a Piece. Great album. Fantastic stuff right here. Rolling Stones Now. Okay, moving on. Also in the U.S., I'm going chronological order, okay? So also in the U.S., they released Out of Our Heads. And they released it in July of 1965. And of course, this has the Stones' first #1 single in the United States, Satisfaction. There's a track list. See, Satisfaction is first track on side 2. Also, the song "The Last Time" is on here. That's one of the well-known tracks, and one of my favorite early Stones songs, "The Under Assistant West Coast Promotion Man." Awesome track. "Play with Fire" is also on here. "The Spider and the Fly." Man, I tell you what, you can't get any better than the 1960s Rolling Stones stuff. Great stuff. Kind of a mixture of rock and roll, old style R&B, and blue-eyed soul. That's kind of what they were doing in the early 60s. At the beginning of their career. A lot of covers, but man, look at the pictures of these guys. See how old they were, young. Incidentally, this is the year I was born. Out of Our Heads, a U.S. copy. Excuse me. I'm eating my hair. And I got this. This is also Out of Our Heads here in the U.S., but this was released on Record Store Day last year. In mono, just like my other copy is. They were making a big deal out of it. It's coming out in mono. Well, I had a copy in mono. But I'll show it to you because I think it's on clear vinyl if I remember right. Came with an insert. There's the insert. Pretty cool. I'll show you all this stuff before I talk more about it. Yeah, it's on clear vinyl. It's pretty cool. Sounds phenomenal. Yeah, I love me some old Stones, man. They're just, can't get much better than that. Sorry, I gotta put this away real quick so I don't screw it up. Alright. So that's Out of Our Heads. Now, in the UK, they released Out of Our Heads on the 24th of September 1965. And it has this cover. So a different cover from the US version. And this does not have Satisfaction on it. You believe that? Their first big song that they did. And it's not on here. But that's how it was in the UK in the 60s. The singles didn't go on the albums. To me, that makes no sense. But I guess they figured if the people hear this song, they're going to run out and buy this record. I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't put it on the album, but whatever. But we did hear. That's what counts, right? We get it right in the U.S. But yeah, I like that greenish cover. Now I didn't have a regular copy of this. This comes out of. I pulled this one out of the Rolling Stones in Mono box set, that big monstrosity they released, 3 years ago? That was released for the second time. It was the all-uncolored vinyl. Here, I'll show you this one. But yeah, that's where this copy came out of, because I didn't have like an old UK copy of this album. I only had the US. But when I got this box set, it really completed my 1960s Rolling Stones. Yeah, see, this is like on a olive green, I guess it would be. With that red Decca label. Pretty cool. And I tell you, that box set sounds phenomenal. One of these days I'll pull it out and show it to everybody. Go through it. I'll make a long ass video and show you everything in it. But you got to see one of them right here. This is out of that mono box set. Okay. And incidentally, Out of Our Heads went #1 on the Billboard chart and #2 in the UK. And Satisfaction was their first #1 song here in the United States. Okay, that covers Out of Our Heads. Now, the next thing they released in November 1965, only here in the US again, December's Children. Now you recognize that cover, look. That's December's Children. This is the UK version of Out of Our Heads. Same picture. Isn't that weird? The 60s were weird for albums when you talk about the UK versus the US. It was the same way with the Beatles. I still don't understand why they had to screw everything up like that. You know, they finally got it right starting in the 70s, and pretty much albums released in the UK were the same things here. Not all the time, but most of the time. But this is another good album. December's Children. This had Get Off My Cloud on it, and that also went #1 in the US and the UK. And the other single was As Tears Go By. Another great album. The Rolling Stones never have released a bad album, in my opinion. Never. There you go. That covers 1965. That's a lot of releases, isn't it? For one band in a year. All right. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I know it's back to work tomorrow for everybody. All right. Well, have a good one.